Media Matters is the content provider for the 8 p.m. show on MSNBC. It's called Countdown. A guy named Bathtub Boy hosts it.
This war of lies.
Bathtub Boy is a sportscaster. He does Sunday Night Football for NBC, but as a hobby, he likes to condemn the president and dabble in history, and he pamphleteers.
Well, then, you're going to need all the lawyers you can find, because that crime wouldn't just mean impeachment, would it, sir? That crime would mean George W. Bush is going to prison.
Going to prison?
What crime?
If Bush won't resign, the sportscaster, Bathtub Boy. It's just one of those things. I mean, I think a guy whose main job in life is sitting at halftime next to Bob Costas. This is what he did for years. Well, not Costas, but somebody else. Sat next to people like Bob Costas and read the prompter on halftime highlights. It's unbelievable that a major network like that one that has the peacock as its emblem will put him on the air demanding the president resign, or if the president won't resign, insisting somebody send him to prison. Now, last night, I didn't notice anything today on Media Matters, Angry Rich, about my rant last night about Bathtub Boy.
They skipped it, John.
They skipped it. You know why?
Because it was true?
Yeah, it's true. It was like, oh, gee, what are we going to do about this? Ignore it. Bathtub Boy was saying that Bush should go to prison because there was a certain official of the Justice Department whose name was Daniel Levin, who had himself waterboarded, declared it to be torture, legally torture, practically torture, ethically torture, and that he wrote a report about it, and that Bush went ahead and waterboarded people like Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who, by the way, gave up the goods when he got waterboarded within 2 minutes, and said that on the basis of this Mr. Levin's report, Bush was therefore a criminal.
A gigantic leap of logic, but okay.
Well, right. It's like one guy sort of made this law. Daniel Levin supposedly wrote it down. It's illegal. When did we make Daniel Levin the Congress? Anyway, that Bush was violating Levin law, and since he was a violator of Levin law, he should go to jail. However, I guess he could avoid jail by resigning first. This is halftime sportscaster logic. By the way, I call him Bathtub Boy because I can't bear to say his name. Singing in the bathtub. And it comes from the fact that when he had his first show at MSNBC, I used to have to fill in for him all the time because he wouldn't get out of the tub. He was so afraid of the Monica Lewinsky story, he couldn't bear to bring himself to his own studio. Anyway, so suddenly, all of a sudden, this pops up on Radar.
Radar Online, yeah.
Which is a kind of a lefty website, right?
Yeah, tilts to the left.
And then, so these would be, generally speaking, Bathtub Boy supporters.
Fellow travelers.
Fellow travelers. All right. Media Matters, as the content provider for Bathtub Boy, their stuff goes right to his teleprompter, and he reads it without, looking at anything.
Institutions that I helped to start and support, like Media Matters.
That's Hillary Clinton taking credit for starting it. Media Matters, I know you're recording, so listen up. Turns out that, according to Radar Online, the original report, which Bathtub Boy used to, write this thing, which demanded that Bush go to jail, Daniel Levin did not decide that waterboarding by the U.S. is torture. No! He just thought we might be doing it wrong. According to the original ABC report, Levin, who refused to comment for the story, concluded waterboarding could be illegal torture unless performed in a highly limited way and with close supervision. How many people have been waterboarded now, Angry Rich?
3.
3.
Waterboarding is torture, Daniel Levin was to write.
Well, no, he didn't write that.
Liar.
I guess he would be a liar.
Yeah, it's a liar. He's a liar.
Liar is a legally charged word.
You're a liar.
If someone isn't a liar, they could sue, couldn't they? Liar. Anyway.
Waterboarding is torture, Daniel Levin was to write.
All together now. Liar.
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 Got that, Media Matters? Anyway, he goes on to say, unless performed in a highly limited way, like 3 people, and with close supervision, half of the FBI watching. And sources told ABC News he believed the Bush administration had failed to offer clear guidelines for its use. Okay. In other words, the man the Bathtub Boy believes should have and this is a quote from Bathtub Boy's screed, should have a statue in his honor in Washington right now. That man, Daniel Levin, actually thinks that, in principle, waterboarding is perfectly legal. God, he just makes this stuff up. It's like those halftime things, or the new line for the three-point shot. Ooh, a swisher from the line. Oh, man.
Here comes the underhanded pitch. The gigantic softball lumbers to the plate. It's another exciting edition of John Gibson's Democrats Interviewing Democrats.
Bathtub Boy interviewing Michael Moore.
Why would anybody not materially involved in the production of cigarettes oppose this?
Well, that's a very good question.
That's a very good question, Bathtub Boy. You take the questions I want asked of me, and I answer them. Angry Rich, do you think that this is one of those nights on Bathtub Boy's show that they brag about, that he got tremendous ratings for this scintillating interview between two guys who already agree with each other?
Is it?
I'm sure the ratings suck for this.
But what I don't get, the one thing I've never really followed is who profits if this is driven in so many quarters by self-interest, or in all quarters by self-interest. Where's the self-interest? Who makes the money off the fact that 50 million people are not insured in any way?
Well, the people that make the insurance companies make the money by denying care, and I mean that goes back to Nixon when he and Ehrlichman and Kaiser all came up with this HMO idea, where they said this is going to be really cool because the less care that doctors provide, the more money we all make.
What happens when you get a sportscaster thrust into the role of interviewing people as if he's an actual news person?
You get that crap.
You get this stuff where things from all quarters are closing in on me, dimes, nickels, quarters.
Which is making sure every citizen is covered.
Oh my God.
When they get sick, they can see a doctor and not have to worry about it.
And we eliminate the real life version of the old Monty Python sketch, which was literally the guy walks into his insurance agent's home or office and tries to get a payback off his claim or make a claim, and the guy goes, "I'm sorry, you signed for our never pay policy."
Anybody laughing?
Nope.
Hitting stores in DVD form today. If you haven't seen it, you must, as we've all signed up involuntarily for that never pay policy.
Hello.
All the best, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Well, he at least saw the Monty Python movies. This guy, who's basically a sportscaster from ESPN up in Bristol, Connecticut, deciding he wants in on real stuff, hides in his bathtub when it's Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton, and comes out when he gets to attack conservatives and a conservative president, and sits there and makes this stuff up. And if you put somebody in front of him to interview him, he's got to talk about Monty Python. Goes home at night and watches Monty Python. It's time for me to get out of that business. It really is. I've just figured it out. I'm not stupid enough.
Parenting, John Gibson style.
You would turn to me and say, if we were among mixed company, do you want to go outside and have a conversation?
Start the conversation at 888-788-9910 and let Gibby be your daddy now.